As much as most of us think budgets are a good idea, the research says that only about a third of us follow through with those budgets. I think some people fear that their spouse might use the budget maybe as a tool, and maybe it's something to control them or to manipulate them. And then I think some of us, we just don't want to be put in the effort to create and keep up with a budget, even though there are programs and apps that practically do everything for us. Think about this. I've never talked to a couple who regretted creating and following a budget. In fact, they say it is one of the best decisions they ever made as a couple. More than half of these couples used to fight about money every single month. And having and following a budget, it just won't guarantee that won't be fights over money, but it'll help you come much closer than you are without one. You know how much comes in and how much goes out? That's important. You know that if less comes in than goes out, you got to make some changes. And if there is more income than outgo, you got extra. The biggest benefit that I see in a budget is that if you create it and you agree on it together, you've made a big step away from separation in your marriage by your finances. Let's look at John and Leah. Well, they fought over money. They even fought over money when they were dating. Leah could never understand why John spent money on his hobby, and he could have saved that money instead. John would buy a nice surprise gift for Leah, and she would ruin the moment by asking, how much did it cost? And she berated John for spending that kind of money. So would it surprise you that the reason they came to counseling very soon after they got married was money? So I asked them what turned out to be a stupid question. Did you not see the danger signs with the two of you and money when you were dating, before you got married? Well, John answered for the two of them and said, yes, but we thought it would just work out in marriage. Let me tell you something. Nothing just works itself out in marriage. So then they said, a spender and a saver. John wasn't what I call a big spender. He had his hobby. He liked to buy gifts for people, but he never went outside of his budget when he did that. So if you were to draw an arrow on a picture pointing to a saver, Leah would be at the far tip of the arrow. I would probably change her classification from saver to miser. How in the world had these two people fallen in love? And how had they made it this far? My common ground with them was their faith. Leah could practically quote every scripture that warned about the hazards of money. In her mind, money was evil. There were other positives going for them, though. They really did love each other, and they wanted to figure this thing out. So I outlined a game plan for them. Both of you are going to have to give some. There's a difference between money and mammon. Mammon is evil, and money is not evil. Continuing to be separated with money will never work for you long term. It just won't. A budget, well, it could really help their situation. So, and I told them, if you budget, each of you could have discretionary money to spend however you choose. I knew at first Leah would be saving all of hers, but that's just one of their differences. And then pray. Pray for God to not unite you in the separateness of your money. I never expected a miracle with them, and while that miracle did not come, step by step, they came together. John could not wait to tell me when he brought home a small gift for Leah, and her response was thank you. For them, that might have been a miracle. So what are you doing with money? How are you handling it? It's time to look at money spent.